Got your hat. That's gonna be the new thing.
He got his hat. He got his hat.
Logan Paul isn't very happy with his younger brother Jake Paul right now. Jake Paul stole the show at the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather press conference as he got into a skirmish with the boxer Floyd Mayweather. Logan Paul reacts to Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather. Full video.
I'll do my best to protect the kid, but he makes it really hard because as I'm fucking running in trying to separate people, I'm concerned for my health. I catch a fist, a knee to the face, whatever it is, break a wrist hitting someone, like then now I miss the opportunity of a lifetime.
We all know the big fight between Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather is happening. But somehow, Logan wasn't the one that ended up getting Floyd Mayweather mad. After the first face-to-face press conference between Logan and Floyd, Floyd was talking to the press and having a good time while explaining what will go down on Fight Now. There was such friendly banter between the two fighters, but then Jake Paul came up to Floyd Mayweather and the entire vibe changed. Quickly, Jake Paul got in Floyd Mayweather's face and they argued about them boxing the same night as Logan and Floyd. Although this could have also been staged and just for my eyes, Jake Paul did something that Floyd wasn't expecting. Jake Paul stole his hat. And although this seems like a harmless joke, Floyd Mayweather really didn't like that Jake Paul did that.
I feel good, and I'm gonna go out there and perform and do what I do best.
Floyd, you really want to take them both on at the same night?
Absolutely, easy. You got two fake fighters. Fake fighter, I'm a real fighter.
What's up? You want to run it 2-on-1 next?
Absolutely.
You want to run it 2-on-1
Absolutely. 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 Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Heyman.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Heyman.
Let me call Al Heyman.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss.
One night. Got your hat.
Things went berserk from there, and it appeared as though punches were thrown. Hard to see who threw the shots and if anything landed. You could see Jake's shirt was ripped and stretched out after the melee. He and his 30 bodyguards got to him. The situation only lasted for a couple minutes before Jake Paul and his team managed to get away from the bodyguards. Even after they got away, Floyd Mayweather was still pressed about the situation. Logan Paul revealed his brother Jake was planning a stunt with Floyd Mayweather before he stole the ring legend's cap. The younger Paul sibling was talking to Mayweather after he had faced off with Logan before pinching his hat. Mayweather reacted furiously and grabbed Jake in a headlock before aiming punches at the YouTube star. The pound-for-pound great security team jumped in and hauled their man away while Jake was left with a black eye. My brother has got a hat collection and I think he liked Floyd's hat and wanted to add it to his collection. It's nothing personal. Floyd looked pretty emotional. He can act cool all he likes on stage, but I think my brother is doing my job for me. And in a message to his opponent, he said, "We're going to get you your hat back and sorry on behalf of my brother."
Were you expecting anything like that?
Yeah, he told me to do it. I told him not to. To 44. He's also 160 pounds.
His resume, man.
I don't give a f about his resume. If I let statistics rule the decisions that I made in my life, I would be nowhere.
Mayweather and Logan were due to clash in February, but the fight was delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic. It will now take place at the 65,000 person capacity Hard Rock Stadium next month and be broadcast on pay-per-view. The undercard will feature former world champion Badou Jack take on Jean Pascal in a rematch of a world title bout that saw Pascal win a controversial split decision in 2019. Former unified light middleweight champion Jarrett Hurd is set to take on fellow American Louis Arias. And to add to the celebrity element of the night, NFL legend Chad Ochocinco Johnson is set to make his debut in what is described as an exhibition bout. "It's always a fucking spectacle with that kid," Logan said of his little brother. About 10 minutes prior, after Logan and Mayweather held a press conference, Jake plucked the cap Mayweather was wearing straight from his head and ran off with it as dozens of reporters surrounded them. From there, all hell broke loose with fists and death threats flying from an irate Mayweather. Once the chaos subsided, Logan emerged from the bowels of Hard Rock Stadium to speak. "Yeah, he told me he was gonna do it," Logan said of Jake's bold stunt. "I told him not to." But did Logan mean it? After all, the mayhem caused by Jake brought a lot of attention to his fight with Mayweather. He continued, "Floyd did look pretty emotional. He was angry. He can act cool all he wants on stage, but I think my brother's kind of doing my job for me."
Let's go. Watch out, guys, watch out.
How do you feel about people keep making you a villain in the boxing world?
Am I the villain? Floyd Mayweather is one of the most hated fighters of all time. My brother's the problem child. I'm an angel, bro. I'm a good kid.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss. One night, got your hat.
I hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cute.
Innumerable users on Twitter have rushed to respond to the brawl between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather on Thursday. The legendary professional boxer is scheduled to fight Jake Paul's brother Logan on June 6th. On May 7th, a press conference was held at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. However, the event soon got out of hand when Jake Paul decided to square up to Floyd Mayweather. He attempted to run away with the 44-year-old's hat, and he was involved in a physical scuffle with him and his bodyguards.
I never did nothing to you. Got your hat. Don't disrespect me.
Look at you, bro. Someone got a good swing. Bro, what are you doing? Someone got a good swing. Someone got a good swing, baby. No, bro.
The press conference was organized to promote the exhibition fight between Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul. The two squared off on the stage and then separated to answer questions from the media. Apparently, Floyd Mayweather mentioned to Logan Paul that he would beat both him and his brother on the same night.
This, that, or the other, you know? Like from here, look, everything is fine. Al said it's cool. Don't worry about it. You just can't be here.
Yo.
You okay, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. What happened?
The f you mean what happened, bro? You just got yourself banned from the event.
What do you mean?
They're not gonna let you come to the fight.
Okay, I don't give a
But what about me?
Jake Paul then confronted the former WBC lightweight champion and asked him to set up the two bouts on the same night. The YouTuber told Floyd to set up a double event by calling his manager. However, Jake Paul decided to try and run away with Mayweather's hat instead. The former pro briefly choked him as multiple bodyguards got involved in the scuffle.
Whether it was dumb or whatever.
He doesn't know?
No.
I told him not to do it.
Oh, you already knew he was going to?
He told me he was going to do it. I thought he was around. I said, please don't. I have it on video. I have receipts.
Security guards got in between them and stopped Floyd Mayweather as he escaped their grasp for some time and appeared genuinely angry. He rushed after Jake Paul as the internet personality repeatedly said, "I've got your hat." Paul was eventually seen escaping from the commotion with a stretched t-shirt. However, Floyd Mayweather was not done and went after Jake Paul again. The latter looked to be showing blood and was eventually ushered into a side room and escaped. Floyd was seen storming off the event, appearing irate. However, Jake Paul could not help himself and posted several social media posts making fun of Mayweather and the incident. He changed his Twitter username to Gotcha Hat and posted the above product link on the platform. As can be seen, many tweets regarding the incident came up on Jake Paul's Twitter page. His brother, Logan Paul, was not too far behind and posted the following tweets and Instagram posts. Of course, Floyd Mayweather has a considerable reputation and finished his career as a boxer with a 50-0 record, with 27 of those wins coming via knockouts. He has won 15 major world titles in different weight categories and is the firm favorite to win against Logan Paul. As can be seen, hundreds of Twitter users supported the sporting legend and made fun of Jake Paul's antics. Additionally, people believe that Logan Paul will be up for a humiliating loss when he eventually takes on Floyd Mayweather on June 6th. Logan himself tried to rush to his brother's aid during the scuffle but was stopped by a security team member. With news of Jake Paul's scuffle and Floyd Mayweather Jr. making waves across the internet, it was only a matter of time before boxing legend Mike Tyson weighed in on the situation. When approached by reporters, the 54-year-old spoke about the Paul brothers' chances in the ring while showing nothing but love for the two. Here's Mike Tyson's take on how Jake Paul would fare against Mr. 50-0 himself. When asked if either of the Paul brothers could take Mayweather in the ring, Mike Tyson simply nodded disapprovingly and brushed the question off like a joke. The reporter then went on to ask Mike Tyson if he'd ever step in the ring against the Paul brothers, to which Mike Tyson had the most wholesome response. The boxing legend has stated in the past that the Paul brothers have been good for the sport in terms of viewership and even felt that Jake Paul stood a decent chance against Ben Askren in the ring. Something about Jake Paul made good on by knocking Ben Askren out within the first round of the match.